Naira's Andy Serling with Armen Levack on 104.5 The Team. And, Andy, we got to start with this. Is there an American Pharaoh update? The people want to know.
The update is he still could be coming.
All right.
You know, I think that about does it. I saw Bob Baffert actually at the sales on, I think, Monday night. And, I mean, I felt for the guy, right? I figured he was up here. I don't know. What do you think? 37,000 people asked him whether or not American Pharaoh was coming up.
Right. No big deal.
He doesn't know either.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see him here for the sales, and it made you think at least Bob will come to Saratoga. And I think that Bob is not quite as averse to coming to Saratoga as he may say. It's not as though, you know, people act as though he's never won a race in Saratoga. Well, he did win the Travers with Point Given. He won the Alabama with Silver Bullet Day. And in my estimation, I think he's won some other stakes along the way. I don't know if Indian Blessing ever won up here, but I feel like he's won the test at least once. He's done some damage up here.
In the words of Jim Carrey, so you're saying there's a chance. We'll keep an eye on American Pharaoh. And meanwhile, Naira's Andy Serling with Armen Levack. Andy, you have your show at the Post tonight at the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga. Make sure to make it out there if you can. It starts at 8 o'clock, and it's live at the Parting Glass. And then we have a Yankees game tonight, so we will play the show on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and Monday after the Yankees game. Andy, what's your guest list looking like for tonight?
You know, I like my guest list tonight. I like the idea of bringing on people that we haven't had on before, and people who are names in racing that people might not get a chance to talk to. And I'm going to start out with Eric Cancel, who's the apprentice rider who's having a terrific meet. You know, you think about apprentices; they come to Saratoga, and it can go either way. They can do really well, or they can just not get any business and not win any races. He's been doing well. John Terranova, who's having a terrific meet, he's got 5 wins with like 13 starters, which is sort of an amazing accomplishment for him. So I thought he was an interesting guy. And also, you know, he is, they're sort of the New York-based trainers, he and his wife, Tanya, for Bob Baffert. So got a little Baffert angle in there. And Dave Donk, who has the favorite for the 4-star Dave on Saturday in King Creesa. And Dave's just a guy who's been around for a long time. He's one of the really good guys in the game. And he trained horses like a wad in the past. But he also worked for a long time closely with Woody Stevens. And so I thought we could talk about Woody a little bit in the show. Obviously a famous trainer in racing. So I thought it was a good mix of guys we've never had on before.
Beautiful. At the Post live tonight, 8 o'clock. Go see it at the Parting Glass. And I got to tell you, Andy, Derek Jeter was here last week. And the amount of attention that we had for Derek Jeter here didn't even come close to the feedback on Twitter that we get about At the Post Live and the fact that we're not able to stream it when you do it live at the Parting Glass. So you got to go to the Parting Glass and watch it. But we do stream it again on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. and Mondays after the Yankees game. I mean, the following for your show is insane, man.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm glad people are enjoying it. I think it's such a great opportunity for people to get to talk to and be around people in racing, and vice versa, people in racing to get to be around the customers and our fans. And I think that's the nicest thing of the show is the response from people in racing when I ask the show. They're actually happy they've been asked, which shocks me. I thought they would. That I have to be pulling people's teeth out to get them to come, and they're dying to come down, and it's been fun. I think a lot of it is a fun time, and they've gone and had a good time, and that's a nice thing about it. And listen, if people can come to the Parting Glass, it's a great place anyway. It's not as though we're not having a place you want to be at, and I think it's a fun experience live. And as you say, it's being tape delayed and aired by you guys a couple of times, and the last 2 weeks, I believe, will be on live, so we'll get back to that.
Absolutely, and it's a big credit also to your work and what you do, and also just the sport of horse racing and the amount of people that clamor for it here in the Saratoga area. Naira's Andy Serling with Armen Levack at Andy Serling on Twitter, and Andy, the 4-star Dave, is on Saturday at Saratoga. What can we expect in this race?
It's a very, very interesting race on paper, and it's the anchor as the 10th race for $500,000 guarantee late pick 4. And I have to think King Crease is the favorite. He's a really amazing New York bred who's sort of just had a lot of careers. And he was second in this race to Wise Dan 2 years ago. And he's been sensational his last couple of races. And he's also probably the controlling speed in here. So he's going to be tough. And the horse Jack Milton, to me, looks like his biggest threat. And oddly enough, Victor Espinoza, who is American Pharaoh's rider, is listed to ride him. Well, Victor's not riding him, I don't think. I could be wrong, but he's listed to ride at Del Mar. So it hasn't looked to me like they don't have a rider, and I'm wondering if they have other plans for him. If he runs, I think Jack Milton's a very dangerous player in here. But I did find it kind of odd that Victor Espinoza was listed to ride him, and I looked at Del Mar, and I see he's also listed to ride there. So we'll see if he stays in there. But there are a lot of players in there that have chance.
Interesting. Andy Serling of Naira. Remember, go to NairaRewards.com to place your bets. It's a great website. Both Levack and I use it. And Andy, as we look at this weekend outside of 4-Star Dave, some safe picks, some pick fours we should be keeping an eye on.
Well, there's a horse. There's a horse in the sequence named Top Decile. It's running in the 9th race. It was one of the top 3-year-old fillies last year, having finished second in the Breeders' Cup. And she didn't run well in her first race this year, but she's coming back, and she's going to be tough to beat in the 9th race. But there is a horse in the race named Kirov, the 9 horse, that's going out first time for Chad Brown. It's going to be a much better price, I think, and has a chance to upset. And I feel like in your pick 4, you use those 2 horses, and from a betting perspective, you hope that Kirov can beat Top Decile, and maybe you get a little value. And I'm looking to spread around those kind of races, but it's just another one of these cards at Saratoga where, in going through it, they're very competitive races. One horse I'm interested in the second race is Bam Bam, a horse who had a lousy trip last time and actually ran a lot better than it looks.
Andy Serling. Follow him on Twitter at Andy Serling. And Andy, we're looking forward to At the Post Live tonight at the Parting Glass, and another great weekend of racing at Saratoga. And of course, you are all over all of it, and always appreciate your insight.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. I look forward to talking to you again soon.